Hi, everybody, take a look. So, last video, I was kind of talking about this. This is an early concept art. And this is the Assyrian tree of life as a person that is meditating. And his meditation is creating fruits. And these fruits are being harvested. So it's basically trying to explain a feeling, we talk about harvesting loosh in the astral projection community. So here he is, he's meditating, and then something that feels like an outside force, an outside entity comes in, like, oh, numb! And he's like taking the fruits, and he's like, oh, numb! The bird is coming in, robbing his tree, and he's like coming up from the tree. It's like, oh, go to hell! So it's kind of like a biblical connection too. Some parallels. And then we've talked about this before. Let's see what we got. Some cool drawings here. This is something I've shown you before. What we got. This was a different video, but what I wanted to talk about is, here we are. So, invisible voices and other naggers. So here's the more seasoned idea that senses are getting freer. You're meditating and you're attaining states that are closer to ultimate liberation, nirvana. And so senses are getting free. That's why we need these three conditions: basic control, continuation, and unity. And I'm trying to talk about this, what makes up the eternal self. So point of view might shift, and narration. Oh, you know what? Let's start with something everyone can understand. A locker, a compulsory narration, a compulsory sensation, limiters. Usually less of this in a dream. Right? So that's a great hint. In a dream, for example, you might be able to fly, and it's like, yeah, but I've always been able to fly. Of course I can fly. And then you just take off and fly. And you're just like, wow, I'm so special. I can fly. But no, you don't do that. If you go outside and you feel the wind blowing through your hair, you'd be like, you know what? I can fly. I think I can do it. I think it can do it. But then it's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. Compulsory narration, compulsory sensation, limiters. Usually less of this in a dream. So not everybody knows what I'm talking about and why we need basic control, continuation, and unity with ourselves to have ultimate liberation. Because if you had it, you could fly. Sometimes, if conditions are not met, you run into a locker. And that's what I consider these to be. These are, look at this guy, he's nagging. He's like, and then this one is like just harvesting it. Like, you're in good meditation? Oh, well, let me come in and like, boo! And then take away your meditation. So you have here, quick harvest. So you're in light, you're getting deeper in your meditation, and then there's a disturbance, like, you're ugly, and then it's like, lost it, so it's kind of like this guy is trying to maintain balance, and then he's disturbed, and then there's no light. So what you have to do, you have to orient yourself towards awareness itself so that you can have it in any state. But it's so much easier in the beginning to start with relaxation, and that's why we have all these unity techniques within our practice. I have a new one basically. So here, what is this? He's trying to create unity within himself, right? He's trying to create unity and merge and bypass certain systems. And here, what does it mean? Reflect on important organs in the regions left and right. What chakra is that? Spine, leg, ass, leg, genital? What chakra is that? What does it mean? Here you see him sitting here you see it from underneath. what does it mean? What are these things? Okay, well, anyways, it's not uncommon to experience some kind of resistance. This is a common theme in Christianity, where Jesus tries to do fasting in the desert and is disturbed by a opposer, a Satan, a accuser. So look at this guy. With the sandal, he's gonna spank you with the sandal. He's accusing you, right? And then you have Buddha and Mara. Mara also accused Buddha. He's like, you're sitting in my place. So disturbing his meditation. And then in Norse mythology, you have Odin and Thor. So I'm happy I make this video, because now you can follow along. Here's the experience I had. Voices from both sides of the ear, and I was holding on to my balance. But they're taking my awareness, and then it was like it separated and it came into my head. So don't choose the biggest fish. Choose awareness. But in the beginning, if you won't have any of this in the beginning. You'll be like, what is he talking about? You should go to a sane asylum. That's what the atheists will say. Muslims, Christians, and those people is like, classic demonic possession. You have to stop meditating. It's like, yeah. So we can look here. So that I would say that we had interference of experience, as in the pressure and color and the sound. These can all be reduced down to vibrations. And what you want to go with is kind of like the infinite, nothing, everything. Just try to get to awareness. And even in the void, there's there's so much nothing that there's nothing of nothing. It contains that. So there's a little space for me to relax and have active, have a kind of be able to recover, essentially. So the solution, right, is to survive, adapt, overcome, and repeat. Pick your battles, not for nothing, not at a bad time. So, for example, if these voices are disturbing you when you're trying to reach this is like a dream samadhi. So it happens because of for example, okay, I'll just be real honest with you. I ate some food that caused a little bit of stomach upset, so I had a hard time sleeping. And so I was able to see more of the sleep cycle than I usually do. So I saw these random dreams that are kind of easing up the body and helping the body relax. And I could, you can feel like stuff happening inside of you, and then you see these images, but you're lacking certain parts of yourself, and then there was a regular dream where there was a lady who lacked a nose, and then there was at the end of it there was astral projection and a lot of choice, true lucidity. Yeah, but that's a topic for another day. But it all goes back to this thing that I've been, it goes back to this. You gotta have, because you gotta build that power. But anyways, as you get freer, if you lack basic control, continuation, and unity, it's gonna be taken away, right? And this is going to feel a certain way, and you're going to need an explanation, and it's going to be sometimes explained by your subconscious. So it's going to feel like this. It's going to feel like this, and what you need to understand is that you can break down your awareness into these 4 components. So this is what you understand. Anyone has access to this compulsory narration. So Yeah, I'll go through that. Here's a good one. Here's a good one that anybody would want to remove. It's the thought of what thoughts and beliefs am I allowed to have? So you're an unpopular person, you're only allowed to have unpopular person beliefs about yourself and your self-esteem. Likewise, you're only allowed to wear unpopular person clothes. You can't come up to school with wax in your hair. You crazy? You can start wearing makeup now. You crazy? You're the unpopular person, right? Anyone who's been to high school knows that one, I think. And then you have the infinite. This is probably, I mean, it's there all the time, which makes it so hard to kind of just get into that. And but how much have you tried? How many hours have you tried, actually, when you think of it? So through relaxation, there's a entry point. But you're going to have to be able to find that thing that we call awareness, which is kind of like this, all of them combined. And then you have example of experiencer, so point of view. So I can have a point of view, but no experience in terms of pressure. Maybe I only have color, so basically I'm watching a movie when I dream. That's something that can happen. Or I can have pressure, and then there is color, but the experiencer doesn't have a narration. So it's like the body is relaxing and it's going through some weird sensations inside of its digestive system. So I'm getting explanations as images of color. I mean, you're seeing color in light and dark. It's basically vibration, right? Light can be reduced to vibrations. While experiencer is more like it's like a visual field. That's why I chose the gravity field. And then you have the infinite, which is kind of like the core. And then you have something weird on the outside, and that's those red things. It's supposed to be lockers or granthis. It's supposed to be okay, we're gonna have this experience and we're gonna stay here. So that's what that does, right? So for example, say you dream and you're watching a sunset. It's warm, it's orange, so that's a vibration, right? And there are seagull noises, also vibrations. But you're watching a sunset, and then there's the moment. And this moment might feel a certain way while you're sleeping. But then when you come back, you awaken more of the locker. So it's like, you're you. Yeah, but I had that dream and it lasted 5 minutes. No, it lasted 5 seconds. Lasted 5 seconds. It's a dream. It lasted 5 seconds. Not important. Gravity. You feel gravity? You feel how heavy you are? You can't fly. You're on Earth. You're on Earth. Nature science. It's 8 past midnight. It's 8 past midnight. You gotta go. No more thinking about this. Do your thing. So that's a very good example. Now you can kind of understand why dreams are so important and why these things can happen. Because if you're getting freer, if your hearing is getting freer, and now this one is like, oh shit, I'm getting a sensation. It needs to be explained a certain way. It needs to be explained a way. We have to stop this because there's something within us that's like, for example, we don't have enough of this to keep this stable. So when you see something, we're gonna make sure that you are gonna experience what you see as a dot of color or light, or even better, let's say it's here. It's in the hearing. So you're gonna experience the Kundalini going up here as something unpleasant in your hearing, so that it distracts you from what's happening here, right? So that's something I was thinking of, does it make sense? Could this be something that could help you? So here's another one. Say you're like, if you're blinking and looking into that, you can get this. But ordinarily, what you have is like this, you know, and when they collide, they become color, and it's like, oh no, you got visual snowman. There are floaters in your eye. Floaters in your eye. Your third eye hasn't opened. And then, in order to get this, you have to meditate, so you relax, so you feel safer, and because you feel safer, you're now allowed to have even more third eye stuff, like this, you know, but you have to feel safe, or you have to blink your eyes. That way you're always in the awareness of the moment, you know, pop, 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 and then you can see this, yeah? Here, by the way, this is a seasonal affective disorder lamp. I got asked about this on the last video, so what kind do you use? And I use this one, but you can actually use any one you want. It's the lux capacity. That's the important stuff, that you have capacity. Now there was one more thing I was gonna show. Yeah. So here you got him. Like, humans, it's time you stopped your meditation, Mr. Anderson. So you're starting to get freer. You're starting to get better results. And these humans come and disturb your meditation. It's like, oh my God, you're going insane. You have to stop. It's demonic possession. Brother, you have to stop. This is Iblis. This is Iblis. You're not popular. You know, you're not allowed to do this. Only Jesus can do that. God has to come first. God has to, only God can do that. So just, you know, if you don't like these, I mean, it's you know, they're taking on their form. You know, it's like it's basically Agent Smith, right? So yeah, that's something I just thought I'd show you, and it could be nice to know. You know, just so you know, I've been through this myself. You know, I've been through this myself. Look, spontaneous Kundalini Awakening, very strong energy. It says, and I was like, fuck, because all of a sudden everything's changing. And I had to hide underneath the covers. I was hiding. And it was talking like, God, you have torn in the glove compartment. All the alterations are exactly styling as. You know, just gibberish to distract me. Because right now, I'm having such amazing effects. But I don't have, because of this, I'm not grounded enough, and so I get resistance. And you know, it was a bad time. It was a bad time, because this, if you feel safe and you do this, it's like, wow, marbles, wow, you know. But when you don't feel safe, it's like, my God. Oh, no voices. Oh no, it's a car. You know, so that's why you need a safety book. It's so important that you understand this. It's like, but if you're in that situation, yeah, what is the solution? Survive, adapt, overcome, repeat. You cannot. You've started the process. What has been seen cannot be unseen. So pick your battles. Don't do it for nothing. You know, don't do it for nothing. Not at a bad time. Come at it when you're strong. Fight. So say you want to lucid dream, wake induction night before. So I could do this, but then the voices came, and then the Kundalini Awakening came. You know, and this became impossible. So what do? You do it night before a day off, so you can sleep in. Because you set that alarm clock to wake you up every half hour, and you just fight it the entire night. Also, you have to ground yourself, right? So all of a sudden, if it wasn't yoga before, now this became very important, right? And so we do our practice. And I have an easy practice. Mine is easy. And we do this dynamically, we do it statically, and we just try to build awareness. Why do this? Why would you do this? Why lean on one side just to feel the weight of it in your ass? Because I need to have center. I need to have center. See, if I lose this center, right? My point of view might shift, my narration might shift, which if you want to avoid this, narration needs to stay centered within you. And if it goes out here, if you're here and your narration is here, guess where it's going to be coming from? It's going to be coming like this. And it's going to go, instead of going cha, cha, like all nice and balanced, it's going to be going like here, and you're going to have an imbalance in this direction. And this bubble is going to be more shaped like this, right? Which is we want here, center, awareness, oriented towards awareness, infinite awareness. Yeah, that's what we want. See, he's held together by infinite awareness, but he's also held together by Grunty. This is not, the locker isn't necessarily bad. It's just most of them are undesirables. Oh, you're too ugly, you're too fat, your nose is too big, you look ugly, you're getting old, you're gonna die. Most of them, they're not desirable. And it's like, look, Rick, you're insane. People can't fly. And I was like, well, we're talking basic control, continuation, and unity. If you have unity within yourself, if you were 100% united, you could create the experience you want. Like, it's better with an example. See, so I dreamt a lot of stuff here. Ultimately, after half awakening, I recognize a chance to roll into astral projection. Vibrations, you roll out of body, all of a sudden you have a body without a body. All right? So you take the body with you. Right? The earth was a vessel to learn to have a body. Right? He said, I'm learning to keep centered. I'm learning to keep, and then fall into the center of Earth. Yeah, I fell out of bed. I just kept falling to the center of Earth, and then I started creating abstract art. Realize I can decide my experience. So basically, this is so they basically, in Tibetan Buddhism, they talk about different forms of the Buddha. So there's like, it's the Buddha from the past, he who everyone can learn from, as the Buddha of the present, and it's the Buddha of the future, blah blah blah. So of course, when you die, you don't have the Buddha of the past. The Buddha of the present is gone when he left for Parinibbana. So you're left with these three, which are the I accidentally I came up with the same idea that they've had in Buddhism for thousands of years, which is the three emanations of the Buddha. They just applied it to myself, right? And I basically was this. I can do whatever I want. So I recognize I can do whatever I want. And so I decided to create an experience. I was like, look, I gotta have better DMT than DMT. So I'm gonna create Tool album cover art and go into the eye and find a ball. I basically decided to do that, and that was exactly what I did. So yeah, this is a longer video, but here at least there's structure and you can follow along, and that was what I set out to make.